Welcome to Animated World Channel.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, a girl named Goldilocks lived at the edge of the woods. In those days, when hair twisted around in curls, it used to be called locks of hair. Anyway, this girl was called Goldilocks because running down her head and shoulders were golden locks of hair. One morning, Goldilocks was out for a walk when a beautiful bird flew right in front of her. The bird darted off into the woods, and she followed it. Her mother had said many times she must never go into the woods. But Goldilocks didn't think of that. Deeper and deeper into the woods she followed that bird. But then, where did it go? It was nowhere to be seen. Goldilocks looked around and with a pang realized the truth. She was lost, but her house was not far away. I wonder who lives so deep in the woods, she thought. She knocked on the door. No answer. She knocked again. Still no answer. Goldilocks knocked a third time. This time the door opened, but no one was behind the door.
"Well, the door is already open,"
said the girl.
"I may as well go in."
Goldilocks smelled a wonderful smell. On the table were 3 steaming bowls of oatmeal. All of a sudden she felt how very hungry she was. What Goldilocks did not know is that 3 bears lived in this house. In fact, that very morning the 3 bears had sat down to their breakfast of oatmeal, but the cereal was too hot, so they decided to take a short walk. They said,
"By the time we return home, our oatmeal will be perfect."
Gazing now at the 3 steaming bowls of oatmeal, Goldilocks thought,
"I'm sure whoever lives here won't mind if I take just one sip."
She sat at the first chair, took a sip from the bowl.
"Ah, it is too hot,"
she said. She moved to the second bowl and sipped from the bowl.
"Ah, it is too cold,"
she said. She moved to the third bowl and took a sip.
"This is just right."
Before she knew it, the oatmeal was gone. Goldilocks rubbed her full tummy and stretched.
"I'd love a cozy chair,"
she thought. In the living room, 3 chairs were lined up in a row. A big chair, a medium-sized chair, and a wee little chair.
"I'm sure whoever lives here won't mind if I sit on that big chair,"
said Goldilocks. She sat on it, but it was too hard.
"That next chair looks good,"
said Goldilocks. She moved to the medium-sized chair, but it was too soft.
"That wee little chair looks even better,"
said the girl. She sat down on the little chair and it was perfect. But when Goldilocks leaned back a bit, the chair broke into a dozen pieces. She plopped down on the floor.
"Oh no!"
Goldilocks wailed. Then she yawned. Where could she lie down for a nap? The girl noticed a ladder. Up she climbed to an attic. There she found 3 beds lined up in a row. A big bed, a medium-sized bed, and a wee little bed.
"I'm sure whoever lives here won't mind if I laid down for just a short nap,"
she said. She laid down on the big bed, but it was too hard. She laid down on the medium-sized bed, but it was too soft. The girl lay down on the wee little bed, and it was just right. Before her head hit the pillow, Goldilocks was fast asleep. Just then, the 3 bears came home from their walk.
Oh my! Did either of you leave the front door open?
said Mama Bear.
"Not I,"
said Papa Bear.
Not I,
said Little Bear. Slowly, the 3 bears stepped inside. Carefully, they looked around.
"The most odd.
said Papa Bear, noticing his spoon in his bowl of oatmeal.
Someone was eating my breakfast."
Most odd indeed.
said Mama Bear, also seeing a spoon in her bowl of oatmeal.
Someone was eating my breakfast.
This is the most odd of all.
said Little Bear.
Someone was eating my breakfast and they ate it all up.
The 3 bears shook their heads with wonder. With care, they stepped into their living room.
"Do you think someone was sitting in my chair?"
said Papa Bear.
I know someone was sitting in my chair because I can see the seat cushion is pushed down.
said Mama Bear.
I know someone was sitting in my chair too, because it broke.
said Little Bear. The 3 bears were now alarmed. Yet they must explore their entire cottage, so they climbed the ladder to their attic.
Someone has been sleeping on my bed.
Who could see that his blankets had been moved?
Someone was sleeping on my bed too,
said Mama Bear, who could also see that her blankets had been moved.
Someone was sleeping on my bed, and there she is.
Goldilocks bolted awake. 3 bears were looming over her. They did not look happy. "Oh my," said Goldilocks, jumping out of bed. As quick as she could, she climbed down the ladder and ran out the front door. Little Bear chased after her. "Wait, please." Goldilocks stopped. She turned around. "Tell me," said Little Bear, "why did you come in our cottage?" Goldilocks stopped. She turned around. "I didn't think," said Goldilocks. "Why do you eat my breakfast?" said Little Bear. "I didn't think," said Goldilocks. "And why did you break my chair and sleep in my bed?" said Little Bear. "I guess I didn't think about that either," said Goldilocks. "They were both quiet," Goldilocks said. "I could have waited outside your door." "We were coming right home," said Mama Bear. "We might have invited you in if we knew you were hungry." "I'm sorry about the chair," said Goldilocks. "It broke." "We know that," said Mama Bear with a frown. "I'm good at fixing things," said Goldilocks, "if you have glue."
Of course we have glue. What kind of bears do you think we are?
said Papa Bear. "I promise I'll make it up to you," said Goldilocks. "Come on in then, dear," said Mama Bear.
We'll start over,
said Papa Bear with a nod. Coming," said Little Bear. "OK, I'm coming," said Goldilocks. With smiles, they stepped into the bear's house and started over.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more videos.